A deadly reality, the shocking impact of the Amazon rainforest shrinking. With a total size of 3 million square kilometers, the Amazon rainforest is the world's largest and most diverse tract of tropical rainforest. On its own, it accounts for more than half of the world's rainforests put together. Territories from 9 different countries are located in this region. This includes Brazil, which contains 60% of the forest, followed by Peru with 13%, Colombia with 10%, and small portions in Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. The forest has, however, been shrinking rapidly as a result of recent human activity. To learn why this is happening, keep watching this video. What you need to know. More than 3,344 formerly recognized indigenous territories control over 1/3 of the Amazon forest. Only 8% of Amazonian deforestation has taken place in indigenous peoples' woods up until 2015, whereas 88% of it took place in the less than 50% of the Amazonian region that is neither an indigenous territory nor a protected area. The Amazonian indigenous people have always relied on the forest for food, shelter, water, fiber, fuel, and medicinal needs. The forest is also linked to their worldview and sense of self. Because of this, despite significant pressures, deforestation rates are lower in indigenous lands. However, according to 2018 satellite data published by the Prods Deforestation Monitoring Program, deforestation has reached its highest rate in a decade. Between August 2017 and July 2018, the rainforest was destroyed over an area of about 7,900 square kilometers. Most of the deforestation occurred in the states of Mato Grosso and Para. According to Edson Duarte, the environment minister, illicit logging was to blame. But according to BBC News, others contend that growing farmland is also encroaching on the rainforest. It is hypothesized that the forest will eventually reach a tipping point when it can no longer support itself by producing enough rainfall. Deforestation has climbed by 22% over 2020, reaching its greatest level since 2006, according to a November 2021 assessment by Brazil's INPE that was based on satellite data. Prior to the 1970s, it was challenging to reach the interior of the forest, which was mainly devoid of roads and remained undisturbed, except for some minor clearance around rivers. Deforestation significantly increased after the opening of routes deep within the jungle, such as the Trans-Amazonian Highway in 1972. The 1960s saw colonists start constructing farms inside the forest, which marked a significant turning point in the deforestation of the Brazilian Amazon. Crop farming and the slash-and-burn technique formed the foundation of their farming system. Nevertheless, the colonists could not adequately manage their fields and crops because of the loss of soil fertility and weed invasion caused by this practice. For the first time in decades, illegal deforestation in the Amazon increased in 2015, partly due to consumer demand for goods like palm oil. As consumer pressure mounts, Brazilian farmers have now been forced to clear their land to make more room for crops like soy and palm oil. Greenpeace studies also revealed that trees store 300 billion tons of carbon, or 40 times the yearly greenhouse gas emissions from fossil fuels. In addition to the carbon emissions brought on by deforestation, environmental agencies have predicted that the world's remaining forests will vanish in roughly 100 years if current deforestation rates continue. To aid in the prevention of deforestation, the Brazilian government adopted the United Nations Reducing Emissions from Deforestation and Forest Degradation Program. Also known as the RED program, it has provided more than $117 million to the initiative and assisted more than 44 African nations in the creation of educational initiatives. The Brazilian government issued an executive order in January 2019, allowing the Agriculture Ministry to control some territory in the Amazon. Mining firms and cattle farmers supported the government's decision, which they thought would be in their best interest. The government is being persuaded by the Brazilian economic strategy to approve development on tribal lands in order to boost exports and the nation's economy. This has drawn criticism since removing tribal territory would jeopardize the area's current residents. Brazil's percentage contribution to climate change increases due to the Amazon's deforestation, which in turn speeds up global warming. The root causes of the deforestation of the Amazon rainforest. Many local, national, and international forces contribute to the deforestation of the Amazon rainforest. The rainforest is viewed as a resource for homes, agricultural land, particularly for soybeans, construction of roadways, such as highways and minor roads, medicines, and human benefits. However, most of the deforestation in this region is done illegally. Here are some of the major causes. 1. Raising livestock. According to a 2004 World Bank paper and a 2009 Greenpeace report, the Brazilian Amazon's cattle industry, fueled by the global beef and leather trades, is the leading cause of deforestation worldwide. It accounts for about 80% of all deforestation in the Amazon and 14% of annual global deforestation. 70% of formerly wooded areas in the Amazon and 91% of the land that had been deforested since 1970, according to a 2006 assessment by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, is utilized for animal grazing. Environmentalists and proponents for indigenous rights have condemned the 2019 EU-Mercosur Free Trade Agreement, which creates one of the largest free trade regions in the world. While the arrangement opens up more markets for Brazilian cattle, there is concern that it could further destroy the Amazon rainforest. With cuts to money and staff at essential government agencies, as well as the ousting of the leaders of the agency's state bodies, Jair Bolsonaro's administration undercut some environmental regulations. During Brazil's COVID-19 outbreak, deforestation in the Amazon jungle increased significantly. For example, Brazilian Amazon deforestation increased by more than 50% in the first 3 months of 2020, compared to the same 3-month period in 2019, according to Brazil's National Institute for Space Research. 2. Soybean farming. In 2006, researchers utilizing NASA satellite data discovered that clearing for mechanized farming has grown to be a significant factor in the deforestation of the Brazilian Amazon. This change in land use also alters the climate of the area. More than 20% of the woods in the Mato Grosso state were turned into agriculture in 2004, which was the year when deforestation peaked, according to researchers. The fact that soybean prices decreased by more than 25% in 2005 and that there were fewer significant deforestation events in some parts of Mato Grosso suggests that the increase and fall of prices for other crops, meat, and timber may also have a sizable impact on how land will be used in the future in the area. Soybean farming, which is mostly done for export, biodiesel manufacturing, and animal feed, has been a significant factor in the loss of Amazonian forests. As soybean prices have increased, soy farmers have moved further north into the region's wooded areas. Nonetheless, a private sector accord, known as the Soy Moratorium, has significantly decreased the area's soy-related deforestation. Several significant commodity trading firms, such as Cargill, decided in 2006 not to buy soybeans produced in recently deforested portions of the Brazilian Amazon. Deforestation accounted for 30% of soy field expansion prior to the ban, which brought deforestation rates to all-time highs. A 2015 research indicated that even though the soy crop area had grown by an additional 1.3 million hectares after 8 years of the embargo, only approximately 1% of the new soy development had come at the expense of forest. Farmers preferred to sow on already cleared ground as a response to the restriction. Some contentious transportation projects created in the Amazon have been justified using the requirements of soy farmers. 3. Road construction. Before the late 1990s, the only federal highways in the legal Amazon that were paved and navigable year-round were the Belém Brazil in 1958 and Cuiabá Porto Velho in 1968. The arc of deforestation, which is currently the focus of deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon, is believed to be at the heart of these two roadways. In the first 20 years after construction, the Belém Brazil motorway drew over 2 million residents. As other paved roads were built, the forest's success in being opened up by the Belém Brasilia highway was replicated, unleashing the unstoppable expansion of settlements. Following the building of the roads, a wave of settlers relocated, considerably impacting the forest as well. 4. Logging. According to a 2013 study, the yield per hectare decreases when more rainforest is cleared from the Amazon, as less precipitation can reach the region. Hence, selling trees and using the logged area for pasture cannot result in an economic gain for Brazil. 5. Crude oil. According to research published in September 2016 by Amazon Watch, U.S. crude oil imports significantly contribute to the destruction of the Amazon rainforest and the release of many greenhouse gases. If this is not controlled early enough, the Amazon rainforest will undoubtedly be in for more damage than ever. We can only hope that with these new bans in place, deforestation will no longer threaten the Amazon going forward. Thanks for watching.